Hello, Algebra fans. That's right. A familiar voice you might hear, but a face you may not recognize. I am Mr. Husted. Or wait a minute. No, Mr. Brooks. Okay, I got it right. Here we go. Here's your final exam. I wish you the best of luck, Godspeed, and may the force be with each and every one of you. Let's get ready to rock and roll. On your paper, you'll already see some adjustments and some hints that I've given you. Make sure you show all your work and place your answers on the answer sheet. Okay, there's an answer document. Make sure you put them on there. Here we go. Number one, you're going to solve this inequality. Okay, so you got an inequality here. You need to get x by itself. Pretty straightforward. Number two, I used the dotted lines here to show you that we got three parts of this equation that you need to get x by himself here. Now remember, I would typically move this guy first, and then this guy right here. Number three, about the same. Okay, you got left side here, get x by itself, solve for x. Remember that if you multiply or divide a negative number across this sign right here, that sign's got to flip. Okay, it's just going to change directions. Number four, give you a little hint there. Make sure you split. This is just two separate problems. It's an OR problem. Okay, so you work this problem and you work that problem. You're going to have two answers. X is greater than or equal to this, and x is greater than or equal to that. Number five, this is an AND. Alright, and you notice that I've got it split up here for you with my dotted lines. And in the end, and same way with the other one, you need to make sure that your answer is going to look something like this, like 3 is greater than y, which is less than or equal to, 5. Something like that. That's what your answer is going to look like. That's not what your answer is going to be. That's why I chose y. Number 6. Absolute value problems when you're solving. Again, we want to split it into two problems, and notice this is the same thing, just get rid of the absolute value bars. But this one, you got to make this a -6. Number 7 here, same concept, only you got to add the 6 over first. Then you're going to make the two problems like you did on number 6. Solve for x. Number 8, this is an OR problem. Okay, so you're going to want to write this as two separate problems. And again, remember that the first one's going to look just like the actual problem, or x minus 1, flip the sign around, and change the sign of the number, and solve. Okay, number 9 is an AND type problem because it's less than. You're going to set up two problems again, just like we did up above here. Okay, but again, make sure you write your answers one grouping. So the letters in the middle, and then you got numbers on each side. Make sure you pay attention to the signs. Number 10, you need to factor. You could use the box, but it's pretty simple. Think of your multiplication facts of 3, and you just simply need to fill in the blanks right here. I kind of got it set up for you. Remember, you're going to need those to kind of equal the -2, whatever these numbers here would be. Number 11, you're also factoring again, and same way with number 12 and 13. Okay, now if you wanted to use the box, let me just remind you of how to do that. So here's my box. First box, first term, so that's x squared. Last box, last term, that's 15. Now you got to make your ACB chart. So A times C, you got to come up with B. A times C is going to be 15. And we need to make a -8. So what multiplication facts give us positive 15, but make -8? And it would be -3 and -5. That makes -8, right? So it'd be -3x, -5x. And then we were going to make our parentheses. So make sure then you just pull out what's in common in these columns and rows. And also remember that this box, whatever this term is here and here, That's going to dictate your sign. So it's going to be something minus here and something minus up here. And that's how you factor it with the box, just to remind you. So that's 11, 12, and 13. 13 is a little different because these are perfect squares. So that one should be really simple. Let's zoom in and talk about 14. You're going to factor again, but they want you to solve, so you got to set it equal to 0. So once you get these filled in, then you set each problem equal to 0. So it's going to be x minus blank equals 0 and x minus blank equals 0. And then you solve each problem separately, and you're going to have two answers. Same way for number 15. Okay? Definitely would recommend you use the box, especially since you've got a large number out in front here. There's no GCF here that you can pull out. Okay, so go straight to the box method like I showed you. Alright, same concept. Just first box would be the first term, last box, last term. Do the ACB chart. Alright. If you need some help or a little extra guidance, just come see one of us. 16 you solve by factoring again. You're set them, after you're done. Same way with 15 too. Make sure you set them equal to 0. But again, these are perfect squares, so hopefully you can solve that one pretty easily. 17 you got to solve by factoring, but the first thing you need to do is get the 16 on the other side. So now your problem is going to be x squared plus 8x plus 16 equals 0. Then you go ahead and factor it out and solve. As the great newscaster of Paul Harvey would say, and now page 2, the rest of the story. Here's the rest of your test. 18 you're going to solve by factoring. I kind of already got you set up here. Alright, there's no GCF. You can go straight to the box method, factor it out, set each parentheses then equal to 0. You should have two answers. We're skipping 19. Why? Because I just felt like it. Number 20, we're using a quadratic formula to solve. Here's the quadratic formula. I even identified your A, B, and C's. So just plug everything in. That's negative b plus or minus radical b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Same thing for number 21, using a quadratic formula again. We're skipping 22. Why? Because I said so. Here we're going to use the discriminant. The discriminant is just the b squared minus 4ab part of the quadratic formula. All right, and you're just going to determine the number and type of solutions that you're going to have. So here's your A, B, and C. We are also skipping number 24, which takes us to the last column. Where's 25? There he is. Again, you're using the discriminant just like you did in number 24, so refer to that for your b squared minus 4ac. 26, 27, 28, and 29. Properties of exponents, guys. Biggest thing you need to remember is that if you got negative exponents, then they're not happy where they live. All right, and this guy I would distribute to the 3 first. So I'd say, okay, so this is really 3 to the negative second and x to the negative sixth. Now they're not happy where they live, so they need to move. All right, and then like this guy here, he's not happy, so he's going to come down and join him. So now I got 1 over x to the 5th times x squared. You need to simplify from there. It's kind of how the rest of them go. If you need further help, contact your local educator. Skipping 30. And now to finish out the exam, 31 through 35. You are combining these polynomials. Pay attention to your signs. Here's my help. Stack them. Write them vertically. Okay? Make sure you line up like terms. And if somebody doesn't have a term, bump him down and put in a 0 as for its place. Alright? If you have questions, again, let one of us know. Wish you the best of luck. You've had a great year. Alright? I've enjoyed each and every one of you. God bless.